The Joy of Painting is a beautiful TV show focused on self-belief. Bob Ross created a truly wonderful legacy filled with limitless psychological value. Every one of his iconic sayings demonstrates the importance of a growth mindset. Someone with no previous experience whatsoever can paint a masterpiece. People from all walks of life found passion in a place they might not expect. Art is a medium that allows for unlimited creative expression. We can channel our emotions into a piece using our unique perspective on life. Color choices, brush movements, and selection of setting depend on an artist's mental state. All these factors have one crucial component in mind: self-confidence. In almost every episode, Bob reassures audiences they can paint alongside him. His remarkable connection with his fans still holds strong today. He genuinely believes in everyone who watches his content. Part of what makes his interactions so magnetic is his authenticity. Bob wasn't interested in selling a brand or monetizing his paintings. Every happy little tree someone put in their creation filled him with a genuine sense of satisfaction. Many who watch The Joy of Painting talk about how the show helped them battle depression, myself included. Watching Bob's appreciation for the natural world helped countless people through rough times. Who can feel sad after they see the majestic Peapod the pocket squirrel? Perspective is so important in life. Cultivating passion is something that can often take a back seat to our responsibilities. Work, school, and other tasks augment our agency. Painting lets us be truly free. So today, I want to break down the psychological value of Bob Ross's perspective. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe so you always see my latest content. Humans are like trees. Not a single one is perfect. Every one of us has made mistakes in our life that we regret, but how we view our failures is everything. In psychology, there are generally two ways of analyzing interactions. With a fixed mindset, a blemish on the canvas is a catastrophic failure. Entering any field with this framework produces less than satisfactory results. Our mentor offers us a different way to approach problems. Using a growth mindset, this same mistake can be a valuable lesson. Oh no, I pushed too hard on my brush. Next time, I'll use a little less force. This sentiment is even true for the master painter himself. Bob Ross created over 300 paintings throughout his TV career. Just imagine how many thousands of pieces he's developed over the years. All of his mistakes help create the person we know and love. Believe it or not, Bob messes up sometimes, but we almost never notice. If he makes an error one step, he seamlessly corrects himself a moment later. A growth mindset doesn't just have value in the present. Confidence is one of the most important traits anyone can possess. Any skill or talent requires a baseline level of self-belief. A growth mindset helps us build confidence in a slow but consistent manner. If I asked you to paint this picture, you'd most likely assume I'm crazy. That request alone is unreasonable for the average person. Now what if I asked you to paint a single cloud? All of you could do it. Every one of you would paint an amazing one worthy of praise. Once you make one beautiful cloud, why not create another? Bob Ross's growth mindset made him one of the most famous artists in the world. A man who used to paint mining pans with his wife became a household name because he believed in himself. Perspective isn't a term exclusive to art. Throughout life, we endure incredible pain and sadness. All of us will lose something or someone dear to us at some point in time. Coping with negative feelings in a healthy manner can be difficult. Downward spirals are common when we start fixating on our depressive thoughts. Social resources can help tremendously, but friends aren't always available. The Joy of Painting helps remind us of our connectedness. The natural world is so good for our mental health. Bob Ross's joyous demeanor comes from his deep connection with nature. Peapod the pocket squirrel isn't the only furry friend talked about on the show. Believe it or not, Bob loves to hunt. With a camera. He often explains how he adores going on walks in the wild. Sometimes he'd ride his canoe for hours, taking in all life has to offer. Even if you don't have a lot of friends, there are all kinds of creatures who rely on you in the wild. The idea of being buddies with a tree sounds ridiculous, but loving nature helps us love ourselves. Every day, I look out the window and I get happy when I see my favorite tree outside. Can it give me therapy if I'm feeling sad? Probably not. But I see how much this tree endures and I start to believe in myself. Nature's resiliency, growth, and adaptation are genuinely breathtaking. Bob Ross's appreciation of his little creatures is uplifting and infectious. Bob loves discussing nature when he's working. Sometimes while painting, he'll ramble about his morning stroll through the forest. On other occasions, he has his friend bring animals from her sanctuary. Showing kindness to creatures and trees creates a sense of connectedness even when alone. Our favorite painter's love of nature is an integral part of his creative process. There are so many beautiful animals and plants all around us. Seeing green is so good for our well-being. Even a single happy tree can grant us joy just by looking at it. Creating a growth mindset takes a good amount of effort. A mistake is easy to recognize if you're always looking for one. Hearing the word growth, you might assume the key is grinding, although the opposite is true. Bob Ross always stresses the importance of taking it easy. The joy of painting is designed for relaxation. His teacher, Bill Alexander, was exceptionally talented, but his loud and abrasive demeanor was intimidating. Bob cultivated a more inviting ambiance. He learned to speak with a deeper cadence. All the painting sound effects help build the ASMR atmosphere. One of the most difficult parts of cognitive behavioral therapy is staying consistent. We might assume hyper-focusing is always the answer, but relaxing helps us in the long run. Burnout is the sensation of being overworked consistently. Feeling tired and unmotivated hurts our internal self-worth. Taking time for ourselves can provide us with an abundance of relief. Relaxation is all about letting go of expectations. When we chill, our focus diverts from our normal source of stress. All the themes we've been discussing thus far are interconnected. Let's take them all and mix them, just like oil paint. We broke down earlier how a growth mindset is contingent on confidence. Our self-perception relies heavily on our environment. Someone in a relaxed setting has a higher chance of feeling good. Positive thoughts help us build up our worth, which in turn lets us believe we can grow. Bob Ross reminds us of these facts in every episode. Painting is a form of escapism. Rather than worry about our stresses, we can create our ideal world. Even if we can't see a forest, the act of visualizing one is calming. Relaxation also helps us grow because we can learn to forgive our mistakes. When we take a breath, the bigger picture comes into perspective. One or two errors don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Ultimately, relaxation helps us cultivate a deeper relationship with our passion. My favorite message in the Joy of Painting series is the idea of finding time to do what you love. Once we properly unwind, we can discover our passion. Bob consistently dissects the value of doing something we enjoy every day. Having a fulfilling hobby can drastically change our mental well-being. Getting invested in an interest lets us enter a state of flow. In this heightened form of consciousness, time passes by without us recognizing it. Feelings of anxiety fade away. Taking a break is nice, but relaxing on its own doesn't create motivation. Feeling a sense of purpose can do wonders for our perspective. When we enjoy a hobby, we have a reason to get up in the morning. Completing a challenging task is rewarding in an indescribable way. Look at how happy Bob Ross always seems. Anytime he's in front of a canvas, he lights up. The joy of painting is about art, but also a guide to help find purpose in life. Bob's talent helped him share his gift with the world. Helping others create art made him so happy. Discovering something joyful helps positively change our motivation. Bob's passion is painting, but he encourages the viewers to find something that makes them happy. Passions can help us get through some of the hardest moments in our lives. Bob's wife died, and shortly after, he was diagnosed with cancer. Once he processed his emotions, he put his all into painting as much as possible before he passed. Bob wanted to share his passions, so that others could develop their love for nature and art. In those final moments, I can't even begin to imagine what painting meant to him. The selfless painter reminds us of how much a single person's life can truly make a difference. Bob Ross's cult following comes from his genuine personality. A lot of people put on a persona, but act differently off camera. Selling a product is easier when the individual featured appears to be a nice person. By almost every account, Bob Ross treated people with the same kindness shown on air. Before he started in the joy of painting, he worked as an instructor. He truly believed in every person he came into contact with. This confidence in others spread like wildfire. Countless individuals started taking up painting as a hobby thanks to Bob Ross. Even when he became famous, his faith in others never faltered. A person with color blindness wrote to the studio one day. He explained that he couldn't paint due to his condition. So Bob dedicated an entire episode to a picture made with only gray tones. His selfless confidence genuinely inspired others to follow their dreams. Individuality is important, especially in art. Bob Ross is who he is because of his lived experiences. His inspiration for a lot of his works come from his years living in Alaska. Mountains and trees are the focus because that's what Bob interacts with most. People from around the world have so many amazing views which can be incorporated into their work. A diversity of wildlife and nature unique to where an individual resides. Bob Ross understands the value of people's individuality. When painting, he always stresses the importance of creating your world your way. He has a talent for making people feel special. I think his genuine belief in others is what allows him to have such a powerful bond with his fans. A lot of us don't feel special, like we are a collection of cogs in the machine of life, but Bob Ross reminds us of our worth. Thanks for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. The joy of painting has so many meaningful messages about happiness and true fulfillment. Even though Bob Ross is gone, his legacy will forever live in those whose hearts he touched. Treating one another with kindness is so important. Our minds impact everything we do, especially the art we create. Relaxation techniques and walking in nature are so good for our mental health. When we feel calm, we believe in our capacity to grow. Bob went out of his way to create the most approachable environment possible. His calming passion for painting helped all of us get through rough times. By sharing our unique lived experiences, our capacity for creativity will continue to expand. We all feel worthless at times, like our existence has no value, but every happy little tree and cloud is what makes Bob's paintings so wonderful. How did Bob Ross's art inspire you? How does your mental health impact your creativity? I'd love to hear from you.